Hey everybody, welcome back to Auto Scholar Mr. B. I'm Mr. B, and today we're completing another step for our track preparation for our E46 M3. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, and of course subscribe to the channel for more. So today we have a thermostat and two gaskets we're going to put on this vehicle. We need to remove the thermostat housing, replace the thermostat and the two gaskets that are going to seal up this housing, one from the bottom and one from the side. So I'm going to show you those gaskets, and the only place I could really find them locally was the BMW dealership, but if you are ordering this from an aftermarket parts house that deals in BMW, make sure that you get those two gaskets, because if you put this on without those two gaskets, you could be causing an issue. You could cut that O-ring going back in, and that's of course going to cause us problems on the track. So I've got this pulled down. I've got the top radiator hose already off because I just finished filming our video for the cooling system fan replacement. And I'll link that down in the description and of course put it up top. So I went ahead and took the top radiator hose off. I'm going to kind of go over that as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Walk over to the car and I'll show you what we need to do. Okay, so step one, we need to go ahead and get this air plenum out of the way. It'll have these pull tabs right here. You pull them straight up, pull this off, and this will just pop out of the way. It comes off into two pieces. Next, we have to remove this hose. Now this hose will actually, you have another hose here that will go in here, and it has these clips here, and you pull up on the clips very gently. You want to be very gentle with this and rock this out. Get this out. What I do is I normally just stick this up here and get it out of the way. And then you have a hose clamp right here. You can put, leave a 7mm socket, or you can put a flathead screwdriver. And you're just going to pop this off. Again, be very, very gentle with that radiator because they do tend to crack here. So that's your first step. You will lose some coolant here if you don't have the coolant drained. I do recommend draining the coolant, but if you're just doing this and you don't want to reach under your car, you're just going to be losing some coolant out of here. Always remember to put a pan underneath your car and catch this, and of course dispose of it properly. Next step we have this bracket right here. So we will take and pop this line off. It just pops loose like that, and then we have three bolts. They're 10mm, 1, 2, and 3. Now this is going to have to slide more or less this way and then out to get to the thermostat. You do have a hose right here that is connected to this. I'm going to try to leave this alone and just see if the hose is going to be flexible enough for me to pull this off and get the thermostat out. But we may have to end up taking that hose off. Okay, so hand tools only. Go ahead and pull this out. This will start spewing coolant probably. You have to take these bolts out before you can get this bracket out. Check and make sure these bolts aren't corroded. If they look a little rough, go ahead and replace them. And now we're just going to gently pull this forward out of the pipe. You have to twist it a little bit. And we will be able to roll this thermostat, hopefully, right out. Just like that. Okay, so here are the O-rings I'm talking about. You have one here on this coolant pipe. That's going to be your smaller one, and then you have a larger one right here. So these are the O-rings that we will have to replace. You definitely want to replace those and get them a little wet when you put them back in so they can kind of slide into that housing when we put it back in. And thermostat is going to go right here. It's going to go, I think there's only one way it can go in. Here, I'll show you what way that is. It's going to go in this way. It's going to go in this way right here. So this goes down here. Thermostat housing is going to go over it. And then, of course, we tighten down the bolts and we're done. Bolts tighten down to 10 Newton meters. That's the torque specification for these three bolts. Don't forget your bracket. And, of course, don't forget to put this piece back on. So You want to make sure that the thermostat is sitting up inside this housing correctly. If it's off kilter or something like that, this is not going to go in. It has to be perfectly in there, and it all has to slide right in there. If it doesn't, then it's not going to hit that pipe at the right angle, and it's going to be almost impossible to push in. So now we're going to go back with our engine hanger, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like this engine hanger right here because these are the 3 bolts that hold it in. And I'd hate to have the weight of the engine resting on those 3 bolts. But I guess if BMW did it, they know what they're doing. They make a lot more money than I do. You may have to jiggle this around. You want to put these in hand tight. Get them started by hand, because this is threading into aluminum, and it's going to be real bad if you cross thread this. Now we're just going to tighten these down to their snug, and I'll go get my torque wrench, and we'll torque them down to the correct specification. Okay, so go ahead and torque that down to 10 Newton meters. I actually forgot to film that part, but trust me that I did it. Also, when we're putting it back together, don't forget when we're filling up with coolant, we need to go ahead and on our radiator hose, there is a little vent right here. And so when we're filling up with coolant, we need to take this vent out. And as the coolant's going in, the air will come out of this vent and it'll help you bleed the system out easier and as you fill it. So hope you liked this video. If you did, give me a like. Of course, subscribe to the channel. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, VK. Everywhere that you can be social media wise, I am there. Just look up Auto Scholar with Mr. B, and I've got a lot of content there that I can't share on YouTube just because of the platform differences there. So if you have any questions, please hit me up in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching Auto Scholar with Mr. B.